What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some, you can get some yellow or you can get some orange. You can make some orange, get some red in here, mix that in. But then you want to add some blue to it. Make a nice brown here. So that's kind of green, so that means I need to go back and add just a little bit more red. There we go, just kind of experimenting with colors until you get a nice brown there. I'll go ahead and grab a little bit more red, a little bit more blue to make it a nice dark brown. There we go. That's a nice dark brown right there. There we go, nice chocolate brown. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush, get a bunch of paint in it, just like this. A lot of paint in there. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little trail. You have to decide where your trail is. Is it going to be over on the left-hand side, middle, right-hand side? I think mine will be right in the middle. I'm just going to go back and forth. Maybe there's a trail coming right through here. I'll just take my fan brush and I'm just going to go back and forth like this. Just going to go back and forth here. There's a trail that goes back here. There, just like that. It's a nice dark brown. And then I'm going to get just a little bit of white. Just like this, right on my paintbrush there. You can see my white. I can mix it in a little bit with that brown, or I could just use white. I'm going to use the corner of my paintbrush. I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm not trying to cover up all that dark brown. I'm just going to go back and forth. Notice I turn my paintbrush here. Don't want to cover up all that dark. There we go. There's my little trail in the woods there. Now I can come back, clean out my paintbrush real well, make sure it's nice and dry. If I want to, I can, and if you have time, I can grab some of this bush color here that we were using. I could put some bushes right next to there. There we go. Just some bushes that are kind of growing up onto this trail a little bit. There's a little trail out in the woods somewhere. There we go. There's a nice trail. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few foreground trees. What I need to do is get some blue here. I'm going to be making the bark. I'll grab some red, a little bit of yellow, mix that together. You want a dark brown. Do you remember? If it's too much like orange, add a little bit of blue. If it's too much like blue, add a little bit of red. Back and forth. Experiment until you get a nice brown color. Dark brown. I think I'll throw in just a little bit more blue to this. There you go. Make it nice and dark right there. So just experiment with your colors until you mix up a nice brown. The brown right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my brush to the side like this so it's going up and down, not across like this, just on the side. I'm going to find a place for my first tree. I think I'll drop one right here. Just drop a tree right in here. There's a tree. It's kind of right on the side of our little trail here. Grab another one. We'll do one right here. There's a big old one right here. We'll give him a little friend right down here. There's another little tree right there. There we go. Now this one I'm going to do an evergreen, but these I'll do maybe birch trees. We'll get a few little branches here. You don't have to be too picky with the branches. It's kind of like that. There's a few little branches that kind of come up in front of this old mountain here. Now I'm going to clean off my paintbrush. Again, I'm going to make sure that this paintbrush is really dry. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some leaves on these trees. Now I have my branches here. I'm going to grab some yellow here, maybe a little bit of orange here. There we go. What's nice is if you don't mix them up completely, you get several different colors at the same time on your paintbrush. I'm just going to drop in some leaves here with my little fan brush here. You can come over the top. I can turn my paintbrush around. There we go. Now if you wanted to, I'll clean up my paintbrush a little bit. Make sure my brush is nice and dry. If you want to, you can add some red to that. Maybe even a little bit more red. There we go. Get some nice orange leaves here. Maybe the smaller tree is just a nice little orange tree here. There we go. A couple different colors at the same time on my paintbrush. Just come through here. He's right in front here. Just gonna paint my tree there. Just like that. There we go. If you want to, you can go back with some yellow highlights on top. There. Clean out my paintbrush. And that's how you do regular leaves. Now on this side, I'm going to make an evergreen, so I'm going to clean up my paintbrush really well. Again, make sure it's nice and dry. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this yellow, some blue, make a nice green here. There we go. Maybe a little bit more of this yellow. There. Draw it through here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push this brush up. I'm kind of going in lines back and forth. Notice I'm not going everywhere like I was over here. Kind of going in lines back and forth. Just like this. You can even make them a little bit darker if you want to. Just kind of depends on you. There we go. And as I get further down the tree, it gets wider and wider and wider. Mix up some more green here. There we go. So it starts off kind of small and gets bigger. If you want to, you can go back and add a little bit of highlight to the top. There we go. And there's my evergreen tree.